All right, everybody, new merch. We got some art done by artist Thomas C. Rogers. You may have seen some of his collabs with Devils of Dirt Hawking. He has also done some extensive work with Harley Davidson. There's no AI done here on our merch. Of course, our thumbnails are always AI, but check it out on sportingchancepod.com. We got pullovers, zip-ups, long sleeves, t-shirts, and of course, stickers.
And this podcast is brought to you by Mountain State Falconry Supply. Freshen up your gear or get ready for the micro season. Visit mountainstatefalconrysupply.com.
And don't forget to get the tightest braided equipment on the market at midnightfalconry.com.
If you haven't put a deposit down on your next hunting partner, now's the time. Contact Seth Roy at northmountaingoshawks.com for your next season's hunting partner.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to the Sporting Chance podcast. Casey, how are you?
I'm good, man. I feel relieved.
Season's over.
Yeah.
We just flew our birds for the last time for the 25-26 falconry season on what? Monday?
Monday, yeah.
Yep, Monday.
Yeah. It was an amazing trip.
And we'll touch more on that later, but we are on episode 101 now. We just crossed the 100 threshold. How does that feel, Casey?
Dude, that's crazy. Feels good.
It's wild, man. Wild.
Yeah.
It's been, we're coming up on 2 years now. We've been consistent, brand new episode every single week. A lot of work.
Yeah.
And
a lot of work. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears.
Lots of that. Yeah. But the podcast has been good, man. We've built a community, as we've said before.
Yeah.
Of we were in Ohio, and there were a lot of friends of the show that we met for the first time in person.
Yeah.
People showed their appreciation for us. It's surreal to me to meet people that are that listen to the show that I've never met and don't know.
Yeah, same. It's cool. I don't feel like any type of ego about it. It's just it's crazy. I saw a guy, I've probably been friends with him on Facebook forever. I don't know who he is personally. He changed his profile picture, and it's him with his bird and a rabbit and his dog, and he's wearing the new hoodie merch that we just dropped. And I don't even know who he is. And I'm just like, dude, awesome, man. That's great. I don't know what to say. It's just so cool. It's just fun.
I think I've said it before. One of my apprentices, Mike was wearing a Sporting Chance hat at the airport, and this guy walked up to him and said, "Hey, man, I listened to that show too."
That's crazy. Yeah.
It's so crazy.
There's people that message me that they're not even falconers. They just run dogs and stuff.
Yeah.
And they just listen because they enjoy listening to it.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
It's cool.
So to all of those people out here that we have met this season who have supported the show, we really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Casey touched on it. There's some merch up right now, limited time, never going to be printed again. And I really got to say, it's awesome. We're dwindling on sizes. So some of those kind of, I think there's enough large and extra large for people, but smalls, mediums, triple X. There's actually going to be a 4X of a couple designs up there. We have one of each of those. They'll be up on the website probably by the time this episode comes out. The Blaze Orange trucker hats, some of the green camo hats. Those duck camos are sold out. We might do some more hats in the future, but for the time being, we want to move through the stock that we have. So I want to encourage you guys, support the show by buying some merch. I wouldn't wait on it because there's a significant chance it might sell out. Correct. And if you're listening to this, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. We're going to do some free shipping as a promotion to celebrate.
It's the first I'm hearing about this.
Yeah. I just made the assumption Casey will be okay with it.
No, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Go ahead, buy it. Free shipping. Let's move the stock. Let's get it out of there. I feel like we talked about it before. I've definitely talked about it with people in person, but dude, how much did we drop on the merch run?
Thousands of dollars.
Yeah, a lot, 5 or
Literally.
something.
Yeah,
literally
literally.
like 5, and then we sold out of what, mediums and larges in like the first week, and we had to place another order for like $1,900 to restock.
Right.
Like we're not getting rich off this. Like the money that we made from the last round, we dumped it back into this round, and we're just trying to give, we're just trying to give you guys like something for the, something for listening. You know what I mean? We don't need a freaking donation. We don't need a Patreon. We don't need any of this. You just buy some merch. It helps us out. And if we need money for something, there's a couple bucks in there to buy a new mic or whatever. I mean, we talked about it before. Last time we talked about it, I should really pull out my phone I cannot remember his first name. And I really want to thank him.
While you're looking at that, it's absolutely hilarious to go to a meet and it's like everybody is wearing Sporting Chance merch. Like if you look at the Jersey meet, it was just a sea of army green, hoodies and t-shirts.
Seriously, it's crazy.
Ohio meet, tons of people wearing it. So
shout out to Matthew Carlson. This crispy mic was a gift from Matthew Carlson. He had a podcast. He doesn't really do the podcast anymore. It was like about like doctor stuff I wouldn't understand. And he just said, "Oh, you mentioned on the thing that, you guys use, you need mics and stuff and you're buying them." He's like, "Well, I got this nice one sitting here and I'll just send it to you." And then I thought it was a bomb. So I had it shipped to my mother-in-law's house. I'm not even joking. Oh God, it was so funny.
Your poor in-laws.
Yeah.
So I shipped to your mother-in-law's house, and it is a super nice mic.
It's nice. It's crisp.
Nice. Yeah,
it's a good mic.
It solved a lot of problems on the recording end of this podcast.
Yeah, because it's like you got to keep. It's like the like the Joe Rogan, about a fist away from your mouth, 6 inches away from your mouth. It's like one of those mics, so it doesn't pick up my wife screaming at my kids in the background and toys getting thrown across the room. It just picks up me talking. So huge shout out to Matthew. Thank you very much.
And my wife Courtney is very appreciative of the new mic.
Yes, makes her life a lot easier too.
So today we're going to talk about some current stuff in no particular order. Today, the Meat Eater Bear Grease YouTube video came out that Bear Newcomb filmed with me in South Texas, and then he came to see me in North Carolina, which is pretty surreal to be part of that.
Dude was having a panic attack today.
Dude, I was so scared because
you didn't want to click on it. He calls me. He's like, "Oh, was it good?" I'm like, "You didn't watch it?" He's like, I can't click on it." He's like, I'm going to get mad. Was it good? How bad was it? What did I do? And I'm like, "Nah, it was fine. It was just like a nice little fluffy intro to falconry. And you did a really good job." I said, "It was great."
I will say this. Thank you, Casey. I will say this much. So that day that he came, like I was fresh off of having like a gnarly flu. Like I was sick as a dog for like 9 days. So that was like I was struggling physically out in the field, first of all. The Harris Hawks, I'd barely been able to fly them. I flew them free the first time the day before he came. So that was their second free flight when he came to record.
Risky business.
It was risky business. We had a very limited window to film because it got dark at like 5 o'clock that time of year. And that day I had to administer a final exam at school. So I left work at lunchtime, came home, did a few little things, and then got together with him and went out and recorded. And the red tail that I had, or that I still have, she was giving me so much trouble. She was the most challenging red tail I've ever seen in my life. She ended up being an incredible bird, and we'll talk more about that. But this was at the stage where she was still really struggling. Like I'd said in the video, I really wonder if she ever laid eyes on a squirrel until I got her. The way she acted about squirrels.
Yeah, there was something. It's like she's like quirky, that bird, little quirky. She does like interesting. She does like interesting stuff. Yeah, she's like a little quirky. Like even to this day, she's like a little quirky. She does like interesting stuff. Not that much, but like in the video with Bear, like when you go to cast her off, you didn't like go to throw her and then she like she just flew from your glove on her own and landed on the ground.
She did that for the longest time, dude.
Yeah,
she would start every hunt from the ground. and you see her, she takes so long to ladder up because she's a big bird.
Yeah, and it's not
It
even
was
like
like,
she's low. She's not low or like unfit or like struggling. She's like purposely going to the ground and running around on the ground, almost like she caught a chipmunk like when she was like wild, and then she thinks like it's gonna happen again, so she's got to like run around on there and see. She's definitely an interesting bird. But I remember you were getting irritated with that bird, but now she's
I
a
was very
monster.
irritated
Now she's a
because
beast.
red tails are just generally, as any falconer listening knows, they're pretty easy to get going. My apprentices all had their birds going before I had this bird going.
Yeah.
And it was partly work, my work schedule. And then it was also, she had capillaria worm in her. So it's a parasite in their throat. She had that. So, and I didn't diagnose that because I gave her a wormer that didn't treat capillaria. And my experience with capillaria was it produces these plaques in the mouth like Frounce does. And she showed none of that. And so I treated her for coccidia and intestinal parasites, but it turns out she had these worms. Anyway, long story short, she turned into an incredible bird. She took more game than any red tail I've ever had. And took a lot of like real challenging game too. So she turned into a really good bird. But I think the video did turn out well. It's hard to watch yourself when you're not used to it. I'm looking at it, I'm like, God almighty, I'm so fat. I'm so stupid. I'm so ugly.
That's what everybody says when they watch themselves.
It's so hard to watch yourself unless you're an egomaniac, but it turned out good. And it was fun. It's pretty neat that we got together to trap the Harris Hawks in Texas and then got back together 6 weeks later to watch them free fly. So
yeah, it was good. And he did a good job because you kind of like told him, if you're listening and you're a falconer, like if somebody's filming, you tell them like, don't post that or don't post that, like you want to protect the sport and whatever. And he did it. And Aaron just told him a couple things, but then he kind of like instinctually didn't post some of the other stuff. And there was one part
he's talking about the end.
The one part at the end is so I literally almost crashed my car. I was laughing so hard.
So at the end, Bear is giving the outro, and you can see me kind of cast the Harris Hawk because the stupid thing wouldn't sit on my glove at all. It kept trying to bait.
She still won't sit on the glove, right?
That one bird.
She's like real sketchy. She's like she acts like a freshly trapped bird, and then the second she leaves the tree, she's like a dog following you and chases anything that moves. But then just doesn't want to be like touched. It's weird. She's cool. I like that. I think it's cool.
I like wild Harris Hawks. I like that. You really feel like you're just cutting loose a wild bird that's working with you. And then you get the bird back somehow, some way, and then put it back in the truck, whether it's a bow net or a BC that you carry in your bag full of gerbils. No, I'm joking. Jokes. No. But they'll follow you back to the truck and they'll come to the glove for a mouse, and then you just set them in the box and let them finish the mouse, and it's easy come, easy go. But yeah, it turned out well, and I was there wasn't anything terribly embarrassing. There is one thing, the red tail, I wish she would have like elaborated more on this. She caught a squirrel and both feet were through a chain link fence when she caught it. It was on the other.
Yeah, I saw the
other
chain
side
link
of the chain link fence, and I jump over to grab the squirrel, and it literally like ran up halfway up my chest and jumped off me when I got over there.
Did he get that I saw that I was driving when I was watching. Don't do that. But it was I looked down and I saw the bird on one side of the fence, you on the other side of the fence, and the squirrel like on the tree right in between, like juke trying to. Yeah. She
lost it. It bounced off my chest onto the tree and then ran away while there's a fence between her and the squirrel. And it is what it is, It's fine.
You had like 4.5 hours to
I'm
fly.
not even sure at that point if she'd even caught a squirrel. She maybe had caught one squirrel by the time we did that video. I know she caught a rabbit or two before that. So it was a tough position to be in. I was so Casey can verify this. I was so stressed out for months because I was like, bro, I got the most difficult red tail in the universe on my hands. I cannot get this thing going. And Bear's coming on this date. The Harris Hawks, they're going to be ready when they're going to be ready. Like, I got to figure something out. And Casey's like, bro, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. You'll get her going. And
Yeah, it's not like another falconer coming to fly with you that's coming through town or something. It's bear. It's just like I think they think it's cool that they're chasing and following you. Obviously they want to see something get caught. They're hunters, but I think it's just the thrill of what's going on more than like the actual catch. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that point got across, but now it's just an opportunity in the future for you guys to get back together and actually catch some stuff with him.
I want to take him seriously, like on a serious squirrel hawking, trip. So
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll do that in the near future.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So, Casey just put out a reel today, a little
It was so
preview for a YouTube video of the New Jersey meet. The Jersey meet happened 2 weeks ago, basically.
Yeah.
Always huge. It's become, I think they had record turnout and they had record game taken at the meet this year.
Yeah, and
You didn't
I
even
was,
submit your game sheet.
dude, last year we broke a record, and Harrison didn't submit a game sheet, and then this year they broke the record, and I was like taking a shower, like, and I couldn't even fill out a game sheet because I
You're
came in
always
the
taking a
dark.
shower.
Dude, I'm a cleanly man. I like everything neat and precise. It's the only thing I can control.
Except for your truck.
No, my truck is a disaster. That I'll fully admit. It's a complete train wreck in that truck. Just Monster energy drinks and protein wrappers and garbage everywhere. Like a 16-year-old girl.
So yeah, the Jersey meet happened. We had a little hunter harassment thing with this super weird guy bothering us. We're on property that we have written permission to be on, and we have to worry about this guy like popping our tires, messing with our trucks, doing something. He's over there. He's doing his best to disturb us. He's setting off an air horn. He's setting off his car alarm, and he's just standing there trying to look as menacing as he could. Granted, he wasn't a menacing looking guy, but he was certainly doing his best. That's like, what if it was 3 girls over there or something like that? Like 3
the guy had
falconers
something.
picked.
Yeah, he had something wrong with him. He was like disturbed or something. I know we talked about it briefly on the last episode, but yeah, just like to clarify, like I didn't post a full video of me confronting him because I got a little, whatever. He came up to me and he
was stepping to you.
He was stepping to me to try to fist fight me.
And you said do something.
I was filming myself. I was filming him, and then like I was kind of holding the camera, kind of pointed at myself while I'm making eye contact with this guy like 4 feet away from me. And I'm waiting for him to like come at me and start swinging. And then I'm basically like, then do something. Come on, do it. So I wasn't just like screaming at a random guy.
To him stepping to you.
In response to him mouthing like all this crazy shit to me, he was like walking up and down the street, like mumbling at me. And then he like he's walking and looking at me. And then I keep looking at him. And then like any man, you hold, at least in the Northeast, I should say, if you hold eye contact with another man, like at the gym or at the mall for more than like X amount of seconds, it's like you're either a homosexual, gentleman, or you're trying to fight that person. So he's walking past me, giving me the look that he probably gave his mom when he was a kid. And she would probably run and barricade herself in her room. And I just stared back at him, and then he like stops abruptly and then starts walking towards me. And then that's when I was like, I'm like, all right, so then do something. And then I started walking towards him, and then he starts walking away. And that's kind of the part that I showed. And I tried to make it without showing like the back and forth. And it was like, like you couldn't really hear him. There's a highway that runs behind the house where he lives. So it was kind of loud. And I just like, I won't treat like a random person like that. Even somebody that's being like obnoxious, I wouldn't treat them like that. He was being like extremely confrontational. Like he wanted to fist fight.
Mm-hmm.
And not to mention, when we drove down the public road to the dead end, he's standing in the middle of the road, and I'm third car from the front, and Mike and Ben are in the front. And he like basically puts his hands up like he's like a construction worker. They stop. He comes up to the window, and Ben and Mike are like the sweetest guys. And they start telling him, hey, we're just flying birds. And then in response to that, he calls them like, what does he call them? Like assholes or something, like, and like, F you guys. And like, get out of here, get the F out of here. And they're like, what? No. And then he's just like milling around the cars while we're parking. So it wasn't just like, I didn't just start screaming at a random guy looking at us. Like he was like extremely confrontational. Like he was like he was going crazy. And yeah, I mean, whatever. Yeah, we could have said, let's go, guys. It's not worth it. Let's just get out of here. You know what I mean? Like we could have done that. Like maybe that was the quote right, like quote unquote right thing to do, like to just leave. And it's obviously, not, we shouldn't be here if he's going to act like that. It's not a good situation. But like Mike worked really hard to get that permission, went back and forth with this guy, sent him his ID to the guy, and it's 150 pristine Hawking acres, like right by the meat hotel. Like we're not going to just like drive away because some guy in a Peaky Blinders hat is going to, start yelling at us. But like, dude, like I'm not a representation of the sport. I'm just a falconer. I'm just a guy. I'm just flying birds.
You're a private citizen.
Yeah, I'm just like, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't understand how that would make falconry look bad. If I saw a bow hunter doing that, I see duck hunters get harassed all the time, like on the edge of a lake, and some woman comes out and starts throwing rocks at them. I'm like, they yell at her or tell her to get away. I'm like, I would never think like, oh, these guys are making duck hunters look bad. It's like, no, that stupid lady is making herself look bad. She's making the general public look bad. We're not doing anything wrong. We have every right to be here. You have no right to impede us flying our birds. And we were very nice and polite to you at first. And then you just kept like, it was like, we should have called the game warden. And then the only reason why we didn't call the game warden is number one, we had to get to the banquet. And number two, we just got permission on this property. And then when the game warden gets there, he's going to want to speak to the landowner. He's going to want to see the written permission, with which we have it. It's in writing that we can be there. But then who's to say that the landlord's not going to just tell us, listen, just leave. This is getting crazy now. Just leave. You know what I mean? So we're like, we'll just handle it ourselves. And, I wasn't going to try, I'm not like, I don't think I'm like a tough guy or something. I just was like, what's the problem, dude? And then it just kept escalating. And then I was just finally like, I'm like, at a certain point, like between men, it's like at a certain point, it's like, what do you want to do right now? You want to fight? Let's go. Fight. Let's go.
Seriously.
You know what I mean? Like you're stepping to me like you're about to do something. Like I'm not your grandma that like's not giving you like allowance. Like I'm not scared of you. I'll smack you across your face. Like I'm like, I don't know what you're like. You think you're being intimidating. You're not. So go back in your little house on the corner and leave us alone. We're not doing anything to you. I told him to relax. I told him we have no problem with you. I was trying to be diplomatic.
Yeah, he had plenty of opportunity. We were just like, hey man, we got permission here. We're not going to bother you. And he escalated it.
I've posted videos of my goshawks misbehaving, stuff that like a lot of other falconers would not post because it would make them like look like their training is not good. Like I don't give a crap. Like if your goshawk doesn't mantle or have gone after your feet and you've been flying goshawks a long time and you don't have an imprint goshawk that screams or mantles or that like went after your feet before, you are a liar. So by you not posting it, that's not saying that you've never had that happen. You're just a liar. Because anybody who's been flying birds a long time, this stuff happens all the time. So like I'm not afraid to post it because I'm confident in my ability with my birds. I have plenty of areas to improve on. And I'm also just a regular guy. And I think if anything, it showed that falconers are real hunters like everybody else. And we're not going to tolerate being harassed the same way, a bow hunter or duck hunter that's on a lake is not going to tolerate being harassed. We have a limited amount of time. We got busy schedules. We're trying to squeeze in hunting like all these other hunters. And I don't appreciate being harassed on the one day that we got, 45 minutes of daylight left to fly. I don't need to deal with some crazy Peaky Blinders guy, threatening us. I had enough. So that was my point of view on it. You know what I mean? And maybe I could have handled it differently, whatever, and not posted it. But I thought that it showed.
My opinion, the dude was in the wrong. Like, and I'm by all accounts a pretty reasonable level-headed guy, right, Casey?
Yeah, to a fault, I think. Voice of reason many times.
But like the dude, when I pulled up, like I was the first one after Ben and Mike to talk to him. And I said, and he's just like standing there staring at us
with his fist like clenched.
Yeah, he's like got his arms down like a mad, like literally like a mad 3-year-old boy, like standing there with his arms down and his fist clenched and like his head down, and he's like looking up at us, like trying to look scary.
Picture if you're in any type of like fitness, it's the invisible lat syndrome. If you've seen it, guys that have no lats but they put their arms out like they have lats. He was like standing there like that, like trying to like
he's
flex.
Looking at me. And I look over at him while I'm fidgeting with the bird trying to get her ready. And I go, are you all right, man? And he doesn't say anything to me, and I go, is there a problem? And he mumbles something, and I said, I didn't hear you, dude. What'd you say? And he goes, yeah, there's a problem. I said, what's the problem? And he goes, you.
Sounds like my wife.
You.
You're the problem.
I said, dude, we have permission to be here. We're not going to hurt anything. And he was like, just standing there, like still trying to stare at me. And we walk away, and then he's like milling around behind the cars.
Not milling. He was like pacing up and down the street.
Yeah,
like he was
but
like
my
do
thought
something.
was like, dude, I really don't want to be driving back to North Carolina and have flats because this guy like stuck nails behind our cars or something.
Yeah.
Or did anything, I just didn't want to deal with that. And I'm like, we shouldn't have to deal with that. We were there legally. And anyway, it's ridiculous. Like there was a time where you just would have kicked his ass and that we would have called it a day.
Yeah.
But none of that happened.
No. And I would never attack somebody or anything like that. I would, you know what I mean? I didn't want to have a physical confrontation, as you know what I mean? He was just pushing it. Like maybe he just doesn't. Somebody, I forgot, Miguel's like, that's a guy that's never got his ass kicked before. He's never been in a fight. He doesn't understand like doing that kind of stuff. Like that's going to end with you getting punched in the face. Like you can't do that. Like I don't understand. I don't know what his goal was in that situation, but none of us were intimidated. And he was like it was to the point where like we were hawking and we wanted to work up the hedgerow, and we kept looking back at the trucks, and he's like right behind our trucks, and we're like, dude, we can't like leave the trucks. Like, what is this guy gonna do? You know what I mean? And then he's blowing the air horns off. Then he's the alarm. Then he took his empty garbage can, like one of the big like town ones, that the town gives you, and they're heavy and huge. He starts like smashing it on the ground and dragging it up and down the road, like behind him, like a lunatic. He was crazy.
Yeah, it was really weird. It was a weird interaction. And then you never know. He might come out there with a gun and start freaking shooting us,
When he started walking towards me, I was looking at his pockets and his hands, and I did at one point I was like, oh no. Is he gonna like pull out a gun and just like execute me on the side of the road? Like, was it worth it,
Yeah.
Oh man.
The Jersey meet was awesome. I won the ambassador award. I thought that was super cool because I went out with Teddy Moritz and a couple other people and some as I call them looky-loos, people who are just interested in falconry. Showed them a good time. My red tail smashed a rabbit. I let them hold the red tail, all that. They got back to the hotel and told the officers of the club what a wonderful time they had. So next year, if I get free banquet and free meat registration.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, that's like a $300 value these days.
I know, dude. Super. So shout out to the officers of the New Jersey Falconry Club. Thank you, guys.
Yes, thank you very much. They do a really good job. They did an excellent job. Listen, I'm not going to lie. The new president of the club, we're just all being honest here, open and honest. She's like, I think either a second year apprentice or a general. No, she's a general.
She's a general.
She's very new. And when I heard that she was the new president, I got a little concerned. And I'm like, oh, why is she's like a third or fourth year general? Like, why is she the president of the club? But she's doing a really good job. Really good job. She's like super professional. She got up there, was like kind of like the MC a little bit, did a phenomenal job. Brittany, of course, was just, she's like the behind the scenes. She's like with the Wizard of Oz, just making stuff move, getting stuff done. Cindy, everybody did a phenomenal job. So thank you, everybody.
Ian, of course.
Oh, of course, Ian. Yeah. Ian did a great job. And the artwork, Aaron, I don't know about you. We're the t-shirt, we're the artwork people.
I love the red tail shirt with the little dachshund up in the corner of the frame.
And the fact that it was black and white, except the tail of the red tail was red.
Very cool.
That was clever. Very slick. Really nice art. Probably the
nice way to save money on the print too.
Yeah, but it even looks cool, and I like it. Really good stuff. The club's doing really good.
A falconer artist in Pennsylvania, Cindy. I can't remember her last name.
I didn't know. Yeah, I saw her post. That she did the artwork. I can't remember the last name either. But if you are the artist and you're listening to this, clip this and share it because it's phenomenal art. Really good work. Maybe we'll do something in the future together.
Possibly, if she's up for it.
We always got needs for artwork.
Yeah, if you're an artist and you do good falconry artwork, reach out to us. We would love to talk to you about maybe doing a future design.
Yep,
All
definitely.
right.
Please.
So, um, Ohio. Let's talk a little Ohio. So, Ohio is where me and Casey finished the season. We went to the third annual Dirt Hawking with Dogs Meet, hosted by good friend of the show, Rick Thompson. And
Rick Thompson and Garrett, and I
yep,
can't remember Garrett's last name.
Is it Dip Mars or Dip Mar? I think it's Dip Mar.
I think it's Dip Low.
Garrett Diplo.
He's the man.
It's
Great
Garrett.
guys.
Excuse me, Garrett Dittmer.
Garrett Dittmer.
Yeah,
great group of people out there. They did a really good job, and I admire them because they're just doing their own little mini meet, and they're keeping it mini. And Rick was very adamant. He's like, listen, next year if you want to invite somebody, if you really want them to be there, we'll consider it. But that just means that somebody else may not be able to get invited. And I'm like, well, why not just have everybody? He's like, I don't want it to become this big thing. We want to keep it kind of like close knit and small. And I really respect that because, he wants to keep it just like a fun little small 15, 20 people thing. And I loved it. I mean, it was great. Had a lot of fun.
I got to be honest. I'm going to say it on here. I think, no offense to the other meets that I have been to, but I really honestly think it was the best meet I have ever attended.
I think that's because you caught like 10 squirrels in like 3 days or 2 days or something.
Not just that.
I think that's why you did.
Two of which were black gray squirrels, some melanistic gray squirrels.
And
three were
two fox squirrels. Three fox squirrels.
Yeah, 3 eastern fox squirrels. So like the classic, like orange and gray fox squirrel.
One was a beauty. The last one was a beauty.
But for real though, it was like the game was plenty. The company was incredible. The venue was incredible.
Oh yeah, the venue, the food. Shout out to Rick's wife.
Yeah,
and those meatballs. Garrett was slinging those meatballs. I don't know. I couldn't stop eating those things, dude. Oh my god, you ever get I don't know if you guys where you're listening from, but where I live is very diverse. But if you go to these Korean little cafes, they got bubble tea. I don't know if you got bubble tea out there in like Arizona, but we got bubble tea out here, and it's like you drink it. And it's got these little tapioca balls in the bottom of it with like this coffee slush. Oh my god, it's so good, dude. I was sucking those meatballs down like tapioca balls, man. It was just freaking flying. I couldn't stop eating them. I must have ate 3 plates of them.
You ate a ton of those meatballs.
I couldn't stop eating them. They were so good.
The venue is this old like defunct hunt club lodge.
Yeah,
and it's super retro and vintage. It looks like it's like a time capsule from like the 70s or something.
Dude, because it is an actual time capsule. That's the whole story behind it. The guy used to have a hunt club there. His kids weren't into it. He's got a ton of money apparently. Something like that hunting lodge is like connected to something like 2,000 acres that just he leases now just for like a couple farmers to use. And he doesn't even care. And there's like this, you could tell back in the day that it was like the spot to be. There's like white sofas everywhere downstairs, pool table, like a big like commercial gym showers with locker rooms. There's like lockers where like the hunters can put all their stuff. There's like bunks. There's like wolves on taxidermies, wolves, minks. Chase scenes with the one with the mink going down a hole in a glass cage, and there's a snowshoe hare in the hole, all taxidermied, like looking like it's trying to get away. I mean, it was just so neat, so neat,
cool. Yeah. So cool. I can't say enough about it. And getting to finally meet some of these people that I've just known online for years has been super cool. And some of those people moved up to like my tip top favorite falconers out there right now. So, yeah. And that includes Rick Thompson. So Rick, thank you so much for hosting that. And thank you for having us. We can't wait for next year.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Rick. We must have thanked him 50 times, but we're going to thank him again publicly.
I mean, we mean it. We straight up mean it.
Oh, yeah.
So, I also want to shout out someone else who rolled out the red carpet for us. We drove a couple hours north one day to hunt with a brand new friend. So Brian and Maggie, we showed up. They rolled out the red carpet. They took us to their spot. we had so much fun with them. They are like such great people,
Amazing.
such kind people. Like
Yeah.
became serious friends of the show.
Oh yeah.
Brian talked about wanting to get one of the southeastern fox squirrels, and I told him, "You got it, buddy. You just say the word, and I'm going to put you on them."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
They were. It's very rare you get to go out hawking with with people, and like if you hawk with people all the time, you know who like you'd love to hawk with again, and who is like, if they're around, we'll go.
Yeah.
I would hawk with them any day of the week. They were great. They stayed with us. They laughed at all of our stupid jokes all day. So that's like, that was rare.
And me and you were doing the wild manning out. Casey was climbing trees like a monkey.
Yeah.
I was reaching into trees with my bare hand and pulling squirrels out.
Yeah, literally. I don't understand. Why do you? I don't understand why you do that. I'm not just saying it for the show, but like, what? Like, you are you assuming that it's in the hole with its head tucked up as high as it can and its tail is down? Is that why you're doing that? Because if it's not, it's just going to latch on and put holes in your hand.
So what's the worst that could happen to me if a squirrel turns around and bites me?
Sever one of your tendons, and then your fingers got to be in a splint for like 6 months.
For those of you out there listening, I'm just shrugging my shoulders. Like, this
friggin' squirrel can mess you up. I've never. Yeah.
The moment I could walk, I was grabbing wild animals, and
yeah,
I reach. Yeah, I'm just not afraid of it. I'm not afraid.
Yeah,
of it.
You're just. You're. I've seen. So there's other guys that like Mink Man's like that. He grabs like rats, but he doesn't like grab them by the tail. He grabs them like by the body and then holds them in a way that they can't bite him. It's really. I'm like, dude, you're crazy, bro. I would never do that.
I do the same thing with rats.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, I can't. There's certain animals I don't like. I don't want a rat.
I'll pick up venomous snakes in the wild. I'll do it all.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a lot of fun. And there was a ton of, I've never seen so many black squirrels in my life. I've always wanted to catch one. I still have yet to catch one. Can I say how many we saw?
Sure.
I mean, we've counted no less, not even exaggerating a little bit. Probably, if anything, we're under exaggerating, like over 100 black squirrels in one afternoon.
Yeah. It was
the birds were just shutting down. They just would chase them. My bird almost died, Betsy, because she was right, like perfect weight, like it was dialed, and she chased every single one she saw.
Well, so the first black squirrels we ran into with her, there were like 2 in one tree and 3 in another right beside it. And I've never in my life seen a hawk work so hard for like an hour, just up and down, back and forth. And it, any falconer,
like an hour straight, like not like she didn't even like,
just an hour straight, just an hour straight, nonstop. And any falconer that knows squirrel hawking knows 2 squirrels in a tree is not necessarily a good thing. Any more than that is almost definitely not a good thing because the bird has trouble focusing. I always dread that when we show up to a tree and somebody goes, "There's 2." I'm like, well, shit. The odds of us catching one just drop dramatically.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's very weird about that because it is true.
I always say there's a quote from Confucius. He said that the man who chases 2 rabbits catches neither. And
yeah, we chased. Yeah, there was 2 in the one tree, 3 in the other. And then we kept, and there was vines in both trees. So we kept pressuring them. And then like 3 would run across the limb and jump into the same tree and she'd chase them. Then the flying squirrel jumped out of that same tree, if you remember. Remember that?
Yeah.
And he scurried around and then jumped back in another hole, disappeared.
I always hate that. I don't want to catch flying squirrels for many reasons. 1, because I'm soft, and 2, because it's the hunt's over. Bird's just going to wolf the squirrel down.
Yeah, I've caught them with my goshawks. They don't. A red tail would probably just pound it like a mouse.
Anytime I've ever caught one with a red tail, the red tail catches it on the wing and flies up into a tree and eats it.
Yeah, mine caught one and then flew away and landed on the ground with it. When I got there, it was still alive. She was just kind of staring at it.
Regardless, it's a non-game species, so we're not after it.
No, we're definitely not after it. And then we had another interaction with a flying squirrel, which we'll get to later. And yeah, she chased it around. And when I said she almost died is because she literally chased. It's first of all, she's not low. She's just like, she's at weight. She's like right at her weight. So no lower than that. We shouldn't go any lower than that. And then she's chasing every squirrel she sees. And the area was so infested with squirrels that it was like she couldn't she thought we were still in like, northern New Jersey, southern New York. Just you see a squirrel and you just chase it until you catch it. And she would do that with everyone she saw and basically just hunted herself into like oblivion. And then she didn't seize, but like at the end of the day, she caught 2, but she was, I gave her some electrolytes and stuff, and then she was okay. But it was like, I got like really worried. And it was like, it wasn't because she was low, it was because she was just literally just pushing herself nonstop the entire day, the entire time we flew her. It was insane.
She busted her ass. And yeah. So there were so many squirrels there were so many squirrels that the Hawks couldn't focus because they would take a pass at one and they'd immediately lose interest because they see 20 other squirrels in the distance.
Mm-hmm.
But it was an incredible spot with incredible people. And thank you, Maggie and Brian, so much for having us out. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the one thing, so like we all know what flying squirrels can do. And, they're flying squirrels. They jump, they open their little flaps and then they glide. And we had a black squirrel that we saw scurry into a tree, and I called her over. She came over. I think I went back. She was chasing a chipmunk on the ground. I picked her up, ran back, put her up, and then I started banging this like tall dead tree. And of course, I should have known better because that always happens. They're always in like a dead tree, and you start banging it, and then like sometimes 3 or 4 or 5, 6 of them will jump out. And one jumped out. And I mean, you thought she was chasing the squirrels with all she had. When she saw that freaking squirrel, she chased it with ×2, like just everything she had trying to catch that little sucker. And he did his little maneuver, and then she's on the ground. I'm trying to get her back on the glove so I can get her up. And then I just look, and I got it on GoPro, so I didn't even go through the footage yet to see. The stupid GoPro can't like zoom in. This squirrel runs like 15 feet up the tree, like with it on the opposite side of us, and then jumps and glides. You saw it, right, Aaron? It glide. How far? It must have glided 50, 60 yards through the woods.
I think so.
And then she rips off the glove, and I'm like, she's going to take this thing right out of the air. And then like it touches the trunk and then just like scurries around, and then she like comes around and it's gone. And I was like, oh my God, thank God. Cause I don't want to catch them either. We were there for squirrels, and fuck, I don't get any enjoyment at a catching a flying squirrel. They're cute, with their big eyes, and they're like nocturnal. They're cool. You don't want to kill them. Cool.
It's like, I don't enjoy catching a cotton rat either, but I don't actually.
I'll kill a cotton rat.
Do you enjoy catching them though?
No, I'm not going to like count it, but
it's not. I'm not saying
satisfying to watch them die is what I'm saying.
Flying squirrels are super cute and cool, so I don't want to catch them on that level. But I also, it's like it's non-game, and that's not what I'm after. I'm after game species,
Dude, here it is. It's like your bird catching. It's like your bird catching a barred owl versus accidentally catching a screech owl. Perfect comparison.
I don't know if that's perfect.
It is perfect because like the barred owl is like, stupid barred owl. And you go over there and you get it off and the stupid thing's clicking at you. But then it catches a screech owl and you're like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
You hurt the screech owl.
Okay. Maybe that's,
You know what I mean? It's cute. It's little. It's so awesome. You know what I mean? You don't really see them that much.
Yeah.
That's the comparison I'm trying to make.
Okay.
Yeah, I think my test is low.
Fair enough. Yeah. Let's get you hooked up.
Get you hooked up to an IV.
So both of us finished the season on a positive note with all of our birds at the Ohio meet. And, all of our birds had a good season. This was a good season, ended up being a good season for me. And I needed that after last year. So yeah, man, super awesome. So glad to have been there. Can't wait to go back.
Same. Yeah, no. But listen, we gotta clarify. Your Harris caught a squirrel on film.
Well, it was my old Harris that I trapped in Arizona.
Okay.
My friend of the show and close personal friend Ben Shelton flew her for the past couple of years while I was focusing on other stuff, and he did a phenomenal job with her. But before that, I flew her for 2 or 3 years. So she's a mature bird. I got her back. Her first ever free flight with me since getting her back was in Ohio. I didn't creance her or anything like that. I was just like, this bird knows
Did
the
you
deal.
tell me that? I don't even know if I knew that.
Yeah, that first day that I flew her there when it was raining.
Yeah.
When you pulled, you remember
Oh,
that?
yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yes.
We actually had a tornado warning and just like this torrential downpour.
Dude,
It
they
was so
saw the
bad.
tornado. The friggin' horn went off because they spotted it.
Yeah, exactly. There was,
It was
we could hear
crazy.
the siren in the distance.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was her first ever free flight with me in years. I didn't creance her or anything. I was just like, this bird knows the deal. So I just cut her loose. And we had like so much rain that we just ran to the trucks, and I see her on the GPS just sitting in the tree line, just waiting for the rain to stop.
Yeah.
And then after the rain slowed down, I got out and called her down to the lure. And
Yeah.
she's a classic, in my opinion, wild Harris hawk. You're holding on to the whole thing by like a thread. She'll follow you like a loyal dog, but she doesn't want to be on the glove. She does not want to be touched. So her ideal hunt is you open the box, she flies out, she catches something, she'll jump off to kill, as you saw.
Mm-hmm.
She catches a squirrel on the ground, which is not what I'm going after with her. I'm after rabbits. But of course, it was a squirrel running across the ground. She grabbed it. I go over there and I grab the squirrel. And as soon as I grab the squirrel, she just jumps off of it. And then I throw her a piece of food. And then we just keep walking to try and catch a rabbit. But
Harris hawks are so interesting like that because that's not from you like robbing her or any type of interaction. It's like that was the wild. Like she would yield to she was a juvenile bird when you got her. She would probably have always yielded to the mature birds in the group, and she just catches something, jumps off of it, lands in a tree, and just sits there content. And then you dispatch it, put it in your bag, and then just like throw her like a mouse, and she just jumps down, grabs it, and all right, let's keep going.
Yeah,
it's crazy. It's so crazy. It's very interesting.
I explained it on Casey's video that he'll post, but if you're out in the field with her and a captive born Harris hawk, which is mostly what she's flown with, was one other captive bird. If you see her go down and you see the captive bird go down, that's how that'll work. But if the captive bird goes down first, she will not go down on the captive bird's kill.
She'll stay away.
She'll sit up in the trees and watch. And if it broke loose, she would grab it. But she will not come in on anyone else's kill. But the captive birds will always come in on anyone's kill.
And she doesn't yield to the captive birds. She just kind of like tolerates it.
She just tolerates it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's pretty interesting how they learn stuff like that. So your
cool
Harris
bird.
caught. Yeah. Very cool bird. So your Harris caught squirrel.
Yeah.
Then Moose caught his last rabbit.
Right. That was our goal, is we wanted everybody to catch one thing the last day of the season.
Yeah. And we pushed it. We pushed it to the last moment.
Dark. Yeah.
Yeah. And Moose caught one. He caught it like a velociraptor, which was cool.
Yep.
Cooper's hawk style. Rabbit busts. He crashes, misses, and this rabbit is like trying to jump over these logs, like this like down tree, and it's like down in the branches trying to. You ever seen like if you hawk rabbits and you see them in that kind of a situation, if they're not like in their little zone and they're like discombobulated for like a second, there's like a split second where they're trying to get their footing and like so they can just take off, and you could like kind of see him down in there like a little Cooper's hawk, like sprinting up on the logs like a little velociraptor, and then just catches a rabbit, and then it pulled him under the log, and he's got up with 1 foot on its stomach. And so he caught a rabbit. And then Aaron flew the red tail at that same spot. Yes. And then you caught a squirrel. Different spot.
That's where she caught a fox squirrel at that other spot.
Yes, caught a fox squirrel.
You got all that on the GoPro, which was super cool.
Yes, got that on the GoPro. Then we pulled Betsy out, and it took me all season to realize this. Betsy does not like Lady. Well, I knew she didn't like Lady, but she's a different bird when Lady is there. So I think we pushed it till dark because I should have just left Lady in the truck if we really wanted to just catch something, because she's a different bird when Lady's on the ground. And I think that she was pulling her punches on, especially that rabbit that went down under that dead tree. It's a dead tree. It's like half alive, like the inside's completely hollow, but it's alive on the outside. And then the roots, big giant roots, go down into the ground, but the underside of the roots were all hollow, and the rabbit ran under there. And anyway, Franny was in there, and this thing like burrowed out from underneath the ground in front of me and Rick. And then Rick like dove on it and like grabbed it. And then like, I was like, just let it go. I want it to be over. I want the season to be over. Just let it go. And then he like lets it go. And then you could see my bird kind of like, Betsy kind of like hesitated because Lady's like on the rabbit's ass. And then eventually she chased it and missed it. And then we dragged that on for like an hour, like 2 hours. And it was not, and I was getting,
it was hot. So hot.
And I was getting thorns in my face and sticks in my eyes. And I was getting pissed.
Casey's below the brush line. He's like, me and Rick are above it. Casey's down below.
Yeah, I'm in the sub canopy. They're in the canopy, and they're on top. And I'm just getting all the multiflora in the face the whole time.
Yeah,
so I was getting heated.
Everything that's like brushing like my chest and all is like over Casey's head.
Yeah, and then like all the little sticks are stabbing me in the eyes. So then I kind of like lost my cool. I didn't yell or get crazy. I just was.
Yeah, only you lost your cool.
Yeah, I lost my cool, and then I really lost my cool when they kicked it. When you're like, and Aaron's like trying to be, you can tell when he's in like, like he's trying to help the psychopath. Come on, let's just go check that hedgerow. I think it's a good idea. Come on, Case, let's just go check it. There could be one in there. And I'm like, all right. So then we like walk over there. And of course, they kick a rabbit out. It runs straight out into a cut cornfield. Betsy's on its ass. Lady's behind Betsy. And of course, my fault. First of all, the dog shouldn't be on its ass. I should know the dog should be trained to not do that. And I got to work on that. And of course, she fumbles it out in the cut cornfield and then can't get to it fast enough before it gets back to the hedgerow. And then I was just like done. I literally was just done. I was so pissed. So then we put her away and I was like, whatever, I guess I'll just fly her tomorrow. I was just like spiraling. I was circling the drain, as my mom would say. I was pissed. So then Aaron still needed to fly his bird.
That's when I flew the red tail after her and caught the fox squirrel.
Yes. So Aaron was up and I was kind of being like, you guys were being nice, like trying to help me. Like we should have called it like an hour before that, realistically. And so Aaron takes his bird out and we go to a spot and like, mind you, we have an hour of daylight left, literally just an hour when we leave this field to go to another field. We walk into the woods, bird moves up like 3 times, chases a squirrel, misses it, chases a pine squirrel, which was super cool. That's
almost catches it.
Almost catches it. And it was a beautiful pine squirrel. It was like real light on the back, completely white on the stomach. Beautiful pine squirrel. I got really good footage of it. And then sees a fox squirrel, plays out, and then last catch of the year for Aaron, like I happened to just freeze and like keep my arm. It's not perfect footage with the camcorder, but I got it like smashing it in the tree, and it was perfectly in frame, falling to the ground. And then Rick was closest to it, and he jumps in there with like this little like thin work glove, not even leather. Gets it under control, and it goes to bite his thumb, and he slips his thumb out of the glove like while it's squeezing somehow. And it's just like latched onto the tip of his thumb, but his thumb's not in there. He has it like curled back in the glove. It was sweet. And Aaron gets in there, gets under control. Beautiful, beautiful fox squirrel. Probably that was like pristine, Midwest fox, like pristine specimen. And then we're walking back to the truck, and then we're all like, you think you should fly? You want to fly your bird one more time? And I'm like, how much time do we have? And Rick's like, dude, we got like a half hour. He's like, let's just fly here. I'm like, dude, this is like the same as the other spot we just left with the sticks. I'm like, let's just go to that other spot where it was just like a little patch where we know there's rabbits in there. Let's just go there. So we drove 10 minutes going like 80 miles an hour, sun going down. It is beautiful out there. I don't live out there, so I don't see like the beautiful wide open cornfields and the silos. Like it was beautiful to me. Like I could just live out there. It was so nice. And we pull in the back. Tail clip fell off somehow, but it fell off like probably weeks ago. I didn't notice because I've been doing leg mount. And so I go to put the transmitter in, tail clip's not there. Sun is literally going down. So I'm like, we're going. I'm like, just help me. Everybody just keep an eye on her just in case if I'm like on the ground, like digging or something, just keep. And then rabbits running everywhere and the dogs kick it out from under some brush and it runs out in the wide open and then does a maneuver around the one obstacle in the tree, in the field. And, of course, Betsy smacks this heavy duty chain, but luckily she didn't hit it. She just kind of clipped it and was turning in the process. It wasn't like a full on tail chase. It was a tail chase, but then she cut at the last moment when it tried to do its little maneuver to kill her. And she caught it. And we all lost it. I think Rick was cheering and screaming more than me.
Rick started singing Neon Moon by Brooks and Dunn.
Neon Moon. Yeah, he was like, we were all pumped that she caught one and that it just was over. And it was
we were
done.
like punch drunk, as they say.
Yeah. I wasn't just like trying to catch something because of like an ego thing. I just wanted it to be over. And I can't just end the season not catching something. Like I have to catch something unless like the season's actually over and I'm like breaking the law. I have to catch something to stop. Like I have to end on something. And she caught it and I was just like, washed out of me. Like just everything. I'm like, oh, we're done. Oh my God, we're done. Thank God. Like we could just relax right now.
It was sweet. It was very satisfying.
Nice. Yeah. And it was beautiful. The sun was going down with the clouds out there in the wide open and the cut corn and the grass and her eating. And we're all just sitting there talking. It was great. Really nice time.
The bond from hunting together is so strong, man. It's to all of my boys out there that I hawk with, love you guys.
Yeah. Rick is he's a dear friend now at this point.
He is, man.
He's my boy now.
Yep.
Whatever he needs, we'll help him out.
Absolutely. So with all that being said, we just talked about what a phenomenal time we had. It's an invitational, so it's not open to the public. So do not recommend reaching out to Rick because he'll probably just bite your head off and tell you no.
So it's just he's just trying to keep it. He's just trying to keep it. I was like, I'm over there, like, come on, Rick. Like,
Casey's over there trying to get him to expand it. Casey's like, I see a bigger picture here. Let's have 1,000 people here.
No, Rick, I was like, I'm like, dude, this place is awesome. I'm like, this is such a really well done thing. Like we could change like, we could get a whole little meet going here. You could have a really, a group of people that show up and like a whole community out of the whole thing. And he just wants it to just keep it, nice and tight. And Teddy showed up. Teddy drove 8 hours out there. We didn't mention that.
Yep.
That was surprising. I did not expect Teddy to drive 8 hours out there. And she was there.
She's going to be there next year too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And she had a good time. We all had a good time. Really good meet. Thanks, Rick. And that was a great way to end it, man. Not just catching a squirrel in a park, like at one of your spots. We were like in the middle of nowhere spot. We've both never hawked out there. It was the furthest west I've ever hawked with one of my birds. We were basically out west, as Tyler Sladen likes to make fun of me. I said, bro, it was out west to me, bro. I don't know any different. That was out west for me.
Honestly, you look around and it looks identical to parts of Kansas.
Dude, I was listening to country music like I'm in Nebraska or something. As far as I was concerned, I'm out west right now.
Yeah.
It was great.
The topography is not much different, and the game is pretty similar too. So,
yeah. And we met that. Yeah, and the wonderful family that lets Rick hunt his property. They're like they're rare, man. It's like a fifth, sixth generation farm. Grandson's taking it over now. He's probably about my age. And his grandfather just loves birds of prey. He got a scholarship when he was, in his late teens to a college, doing an article on Harris hawks and why you shouldn't shoot them back in the day.
Yeah.
And Rick went there just to get permission, and then he ends up talking to this guy for like 3 hours about birds of prey, and the guy knows all this stuff. And this is just a farmer in Ohio, big farm, one of the last ones that are left that are not like, owned by Bill Gates or whatever. And they let Rick just have free reign of the place, and they're just the nicest people ever. And that's rare. So shout out to them. I don't know I don't remember their names, but
yeah,
they were great people,
Definitely.
Yeah, man.
So
what else?
Season's over for us. Yeah, I dropped off 4 fox squirrels and the black gray squirrel at the taxidermist today.
This kid's got money, man.
It's not gonna be cheap, but
like $300 a piece,
more or less. Yeah.
I mean, it's worth it though, I guess.
Yeah. The dude he's regarded as one of the best squirrel taxidermists in the world. I sent Casey the pictures. Barry Fowler in High Point, North Carolina.
Yeah.
You know what he told me today, dude? I asked him because he's been doing fox squirrels since the 80s. He said his first ever fox squirrel he mounted was in 1983. So older than me. He has it sitting there too. It's all dusty. And
yeah.
I said, what's the biggest fox squirrel you've ever done? 36 inches, 3 pounds, 4 ounces.
What? Are you kidding me?
I'm dead serious, dude.
Oh, yeah, dude. And we didn't talk about Betsy chasing a beautiful fox squirrel.
Yeah. And maybe it was because it was too intimidating for her. Maybe it was because ladies' presence, but she did not really want to grab that thing. And you can't blame her.
No, you can't blame her. It's like for her, that just looks like a groundhog. It was really like a groundhog.
My theory is you really need to introduce the bird to fox squirrels as a juvenile, and they need to experience success while they're still malleable.
Yeah. Yeah. And you got to fly them. You got to enter them fat, especially a goshawk. Just let them play with those big suckers and learn how to handle them. And I mean, I'm not going to lie. I you know me, I'm not like overly afraid of catching squirrels. But like I said, the day before, she worked so hard. And I gave her a nice crop, so she wasn't like, she wasn't by any means. She was, if anything, she was acting heavy. But I was kind of getting a little nervous. I'm like, I don't, the last hunt of the year, I don't need my bird getting like its tarsus like snapped by this.
You also really wanted to catch one.
I wanted to catch one. I think she would catch one if she wasn't, if Lady wasn't there. And I think if she didn't burn herself out the day before, I think it was just.
It was a little colder.
It was 80 degrees. We were sweating around. It was like 80 degrees.
Ticks I think that all over us.
It was despicable. The ride home, dude. I stopped at a rest stop, bro. It was the most vile, despicable thing I've ever seen in my life. These disgusting demon ticks. I pull one off. I literally went in my little toiletry bag and pulled out like this little tweezer, for my eyebrows. When I'm at the meet, if I see a little eyebrow, I got to pluck it, make sure I'm all clean and stuff.
Yeah, of course.
So I got my tweezers in there. I pull out my tweezers. I pull the tick off, dude. And there's like 10 like microscopic little ticks like on the tick's body crawling around and stuck into Franny's skin, sucking her blood at the same time. So for every tick, there was like 15 more ticks that you couldn't even barely see unless you knew what you were looking for. It was disgusting. I felt violated. It was disgusting. My skin was crawling the whole ride home. I had another like 5 hours home. It was disgusting. It's like such a bad time of the year. And I didn't re-up their Frontline or any of their meds, for ticks because it was so cold lately. And yeah, those ticks were bad, really bad. Disgusting. Yeah.
So with back to the fox squirrel thing, I was very curious what those Midwestern, I guess the subspecies is Eastern fox squirrels versus the ones we have at the coast here, Southeastern fox squirrels, what the differences were. So those Eastern fox squirrels will live anywhere that a gray squirrel will live.
That's what it looked like. Yeah. The spots we were hunting didn't look different from anywhere. They were just like gray squirrels run. Like we caught a fox squirrel probably about 100 yards from where you caught your fox squirrel. Betsy caught a gray squirrel. Like right there in the same habitat.
Yeah, they're in the same woods together. Yeah.
Yeah.
But here you will only find them in what's called like sandhills habitat with longleaf pine trees. It's very specific habitat that you'll find the southeastern fox squirrels. And then the southeastern ones are different color from the eastern ones, and the southeasterns are also bigger.
Yeah, dude. I mean, the one that you caught, you caught like what, 3 of those crazy looking ones?
I caught 4.
I mean, it's the craziest looking thing you'll ever see. I mean, it's insane that thing is just running around in the woods somewhere. It's like it's black, jet black underneath, and then it has like silver guard hairs, and then like a white patch under its chin. Like the thing looks nuts. It looks and it's like 2 feet long, tail to nose. Like it's huge. It's
28 inches long was the biggest one I caught.
Crazy
animals, long and over 2 pounds.
It's nuts. I mean, like, listen, I disagree with Gary on the whole squirrel thing, but like, that is not a goshawk quarry species. Like they're not grabbing those things in the wild. That's not what they're grabbing. They're grabbing grays. They're grabbing pine squirrel. That's what they're grabbing.
The taxidermist today was telling me that they're changing the regs here to where those the southeastern fox squirrels is going to be a limit of 2 per season.
Yeah, because so at the North Carolina, did we do a wrap up in North Carolina meeting or no?
I don't know. I don't remember if we did or not, but
I don't think we did. I mean, it was great meet, had a lot of fun, but yeah, we ran into like literally like is he the biologist for the state?
Yeah. Rupert,
yeah. Pretty boy. He Mr. Handsome, right?
Yeah. He looked like the lead singer of Turnpike Troubadours, Evan Felker.
Yeah. Really nice guy. And he knows what he's talking about. And he started telling us like, all the different stuff that they're like, it's a huge problem with poaching, because they're so unique looking. People will go out and just like blast them and run out of the woods with them, and telling us the problems that they have with like the carry. Cause North Carolina is like, it's America. So they have like, you can walk around the woods with like a sniper rifle and just say it's like your open carry weapon. It's like, dude, it's like, yeah.
Like, unless they catch you poaching, like just you walking through the woods with a rifle is not enough to prosecute you for poaching or hunting without a license.
Yeah, like you could just be in like a camo sweatshirt and like jeans walking through the woods with a rifle, and if they catch you and they don't see you doing anything, you're like, man, I just don't want to get robbed today, man. I'm just out here trying to protect myself, and they can't do anything about it. It's so weird. It's crazy.
So fox squirrels here, the southeastern ones, are 1 per day with a max of 10 per season. Yeah,
now they're switching it to 1 per day, I'm assuming, and then
it hasn't changed from the limit of 10. I think it's probably gonna be 10 this year, but it sounds like it's gonna be moving to 2 per year, which is fine. Yeah. I'm wondering if falconers can get an exception to that, because if you live in fox squirrel range and you're hawking gray squirrels and you catch a fox squirrel, what are you going to do? And it's wasteful to let it lie. So,
dude, I don't care what not even saying you keep it, but you got to like call a buddy that's still got room on his, you know what I mean? Come get this thing. You can't just leave that thing in the woods. Like from a game commission, like the government, like you can't just leave that thing laying in the woods. Like, look at that thing.
But if their numbers are dwindling, then they have to do something about it. But we know it's not the falconers, because as far as I know, they were like me, Lee Everett, my other apprentice, my graduated apprentice, Jen, and then the dude from Michigan, and then Marshall Davis. So there were 5 people that I know of that caught a fox squirrel this year in North Carolina.
And who's the guy who won the biggest?
The dude from Michigan.
Yeah, and that thing that he caught was nuts.
It wasn't as good as some of the ones I caught this year.
No, you caught some crazy ones, but when they were talking about the weight and the weight,
it was smaller than the smallest fox squirrel I caught.
It was like 980, right? Or something like that. It was like 980 grams.
All of mine were over 1,000 grams.
Yeah. And he caught it. And then when I saw the picture, I said, I don't even care what that thing's weight. He should just win anyway. Look at that thing. Because I never, you know what I mean? I'm from Jersey. You know what I mean? Like we got gray squirrels, we got black squirrels around, pine squirrels here and there. I never this hunt in Ohio was the first time I saw a fox squirrel in the wild in my life, and it was like surreal. It looked like my redheaded brother up in the tree. I could see it from a mile away. Literally, I'm like Rick. I'm like, is that? He's like, that's a fox squirrel right there. Yeah, get her over here.
Yeah, and you can see them in the trees. They're so
Yeah.
big.
Yeah, they're big and they're orange, and the sun hits them, and they like.
They're smaller than the southeastern ones. That's the crazy part,
dude. It's crazy because that last one that you caught was an intimidating sucker. That was a big squirrel, man. Big squirrel. I think it killed Franny probably.
Yeah, it's like the same size as Franny.
Literally, probably the same, like close to Franny's size, like length and stuff. Like,
actually, probably longer than Franny with the tail.
Oh yeah, definitely longer than Franny for sure.
So yeah, man, it was so the dropped off the squirrels at the taxidermist. Gonna be super expensive, but super cool.
Yeah.
That's probably, if I catch any that are like very differently colored from the ones having mounted, I'll have those mounted, but that's probably it.
You gotta get them. You gotta get them tanned at least and hang them or something.
Oh yeah, you can't waste their skin. I'm just gonna skin them out and flesh them and have them tanned. But
yeah.
So there's different color varieties though that if I catch any of those, I'm going to have those mounted as well. But I don't know if I'll be able to, or it's at this point I have pretty much everything that you can commonly find. Anything else would be a rarity. So
right. But there are rarities though, right? And there's some other crazy ones.
There's white fox squirrels. There's fox squirrels that are colored just like a gray squirrel. There's some that are more like a chocolatey brown, kind of like the black squirrels you caught.
Yeah, out of all those squirrels we caught.
Yeah, Casey catches two of the rare ones. They said our hosts were like, those are rare. The chocolatey ones, those are the rare ones. Those are the ones we want to catch. Casey catches two of them. And then the two that I catch are like jet black.
Jet black. And I really just wanted a jet black one because I caught a chocolatey one by my house. But I think it was just like, it was definitely a mutation. I've seen him in there before, but its tail was all ratty and like it literally looked like a rat's tail. And it was like ugly. And so like when I caught those, they were pretty, but I was kind of hoping for like a glossy jet black, squirrel. But I was super happy. I don't care. It was fun.
Yeah, it's so different.
It was so great. And then the one was red. That footage was nuts. Was that just the sun? What do you think that was? The sun hitting that thing's back?
There was a black squirrel that had like red guard hairs and like a red tail. It was like really pretty looking.
I'm talking red, like red, like a
the redheaded stranger from Blue Rock, Montana.
I was gonna say like a girl that dates like a lot of brothers, or that works at a bowling alley.
The Cash Me Outside girl.
Yes, the Cash Me Outside. That like that color hair, like that red, that like neon red. Its guard hairs were like that, but I don't know if it was because of the sun.
Yeah, I don't know.
Crazy looking. I zoomed in. I said, "Am I crazy? Is that thing red?" And they're like, "No, that thing is red." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, let's get it!" And I like started running over there.
Well, they would know because they're from there and they see all that on a regular basis. So if it looked different, they would know. I would think they would say, "Oh no, it's just the sun hitting it." But
no, they said it was unique. That one was
what a trip though, man! I can't wait to go back.
No, I'm going back next year for sure. I might bring the kids and the wife because that lodge was sweet. They can hang out there all day, go for little walks.
I'm just thinking about the listeners. They're listening to this being like, man, they're just going on about this wonderful meet that I'll never be able to go to.
Dude, the highlight of the meet though was the man that he won't have the sun leave his brow.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about him for a second.
You met him. You talked to him. I didn't really get a chance to talk to him.
I had to take the opportunity to talk to this character. So he was sleeping in TP, and he put up TP and slept in TP, and he was out there wearing a leather vest and a leather hat, and he wasn't interested in coming indoors. So he spent all his time outside.
Yeah.
So he was outside eating and chilling while everybody else was indoors, and I just see him out there and I'm like, I gotta go talk to this dude. So I walk out there and I'm talking to him, and he's like sipping on his beer, and he slips his beer down into a pocket on his vest. So he has like a custom pocket.
He made that vest for sure.
Yeah. So I asked him about that. He has a pocket for his can of beer, he's got all these other pockets, and you can see stuff in there. And I'm like, what do you got in that pocket? I'm just like pointing out pockets and saying, what's in there? And he pulls out silverware, so he carries a spoon and a fork around with him in his vest. And I said, you make that vest? He said, yep. Just real. He doesn't have much to say. He goes, yep. And I was like, cool, man, that's awesome, dude, because it was a sick looking vest.
Didn't he have a double holsters on either side with slingshots in them?
He had 2 slingshots on him, but I don't know where he was keeping them because I had a few drinks, and so I wasn't totally with where the stuff was coming from. But he was pulling stuff out of the vest to show me, and he was like, I made the hat too. He had this really bitchin' leather hat, like leather cowboy hat he was wearing, and then he pulls out a slingshot. So he's like a very competitive slingshot dude.
It's a whole dude. My eyes were open when out there because Kevin. Oh, what's Kevin's last name? I can't remember. Kevin Dudley. Shout out to Kevin Dudley. He's the nicest guy. Dude, there's like a whole subculture of like these dudes that are just slinging slingshots. Like there's competitions.
Kevin told me he was number 2 in the country in a competition.
Number 2 in the country in the competition. And I think there's like something like 20,000 members in the country that compete. And like, well, not compete, but like they're members of the club or whatever. It's a huge thing.
My brother in the leather vest, he pulled out one, and it was like this sexy lady that he carved. Out of wood, and it was a really good carving, and the legs were the fork. The women's legs were the fork of the slingshot.
Dude, he showed me a picture of that. I started missing my wife. I started getting a little lonely. Let me get that slingshot. Let me take that slingshot back to the hotel.
He would mess you up with a slingshot, dude. I have a feeling.
Dude, that nice gentleman would literally kill you, skin you, and utilize you for sustenance. If I was going to say, if you're messing with a slingshot
distance on you, you're done, man. He'd hit you right between the eyes with a ball bearing.
Bro, he'd put it right in the right next to your eyeball, right into your brain.
And it'd like rattle around inside your skull. Bing, 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 bing.
Yeah. And then come out of your other eye right into his hand. And then he would just stand there and then fall on the ground.
His cousin is a falconer, Donald. He was there as a guest at Donald. So him and Donald were sleeping in TP.
Yeah.
And we saw Kim Betke there. We saw, of course, Richard Moats.
Dude, Moats is the man, dude. I told Rich he was hurting his leg, man. And I said, Rich, you need some Crocs. And he's like, dude, I don't have no Crocs. I don't wear Crocs. I said, bro, get a scrap of leather, take it out to this guy on the porch. I said, look at that guy out there. You give him some leather, a piece of sinew, and a toothpick. That guy will make you a pair of the most comfortable moccasins you ever wore in your life.
Heck yeah, it would.
Yeah, dude. That guy was legit.
And then
Richard was the best.
Yeah, we met good friend of the show, Emily. Later on, we saw the dude, the slingshot guy. He changed into a duster.
Yeah, it started getting the weather started turning a little bit, and I look outside the window, and he's wearing a full-blown Western duster out on the porch, just looking off into the distance with his hat. Bro, this guy would not come inside. Like, he did not come inside once.
No, he did not.
Rolling hand rolled cigarettes.
Yep.
Probably grew the tobacco himself. Dude, this guy was like, dude, we got to get this guy on the show, but I don't know how entertaining he would be, but he was super interesting.
Just a total character, man. And that's what I love about doing this stuff, is running into just characters like that you're never going to see anywhere else. Yeah. Super cool dude.
Yep. And the big meets like Jersey and PA and North Carolina, it's there's so much going on, and there's so many people, and you want to talk to everyone and like hang out. Like at that meet, it was fun because like you could just you could go outside and just sit and talk to that guy and like hear a bunch of cool stuff that he had to say. With no like real pressure, and like it was just like real like subdued and relaxed. And Rick did a really good job. He gave a nice speech. He thanked Teddy for being there.
But most thanked us for being there. Us.
Yeah, but he didn't have to do that. But it was nice. It was nice of him to thank us for being there. It was fun to be there regardless of the podcast. I still think that we dropped the ball. We should have done a podcast, like not a live one or anything crazy, but just did something.
It's just, we're so busy, man. Me and Casey hawk until like it's dark every single day. We're out there. We don't stop for lunch.
No, that's not.
We're out there for what, 12 hours at least every single day. beating brush, climbing trees, doing, we're just.
We're there to hawk, man. We got busy schedules.
Exactly.
You're driving 8 hours out there, and I'm just going to drive out there 8 hours to sit in a chair and drink beer. Like I'm there to fly my birds. I got to get grief, from my wife. I got jobs that I got to go get to. I got customers call me. I'm out there to fly my birds. I'm here to fly my birds and have a good time with friends. But if my friends don't want to fly birds, they want to go back to the hotel, you're going to go by yourself, like Aaron had to do. Dude, this guy, I pull in there. I drive 8 hours to Ohio, right? Sunny. Yeah. I'm lit, dude. I'm lit. My bird is ready to go. Both my birds are ready to go. My dogs are freaking out in the truck. I'm driving. I pull in there. I see Richard sitting there massaging his foot down this dirt road into this field. I pull in there. I get all my gear on. I'm like, where are they? He's like, follow that hedgerow up. They're probably back there somewhere. I'm like, what are you doing here? He's like, my foot. I got like tendonitis or something. And I'm like, all right, dude. I start running across the field. I get up there. Rick says, wow, it's so nice to meet you in person, Casey. You're taller than I expected you to be. And that was funny. And then literally we greet each other, and then the sky opens up, and there's like the sky fell on us. Like I'm talking torrential downpour instantly. Mm-hmm. And then we ran back to the truck. Then the sirens go off. Then our phones start blowing up because it's a hurricane warning telling everybody to get, to shelter. And we're running down this pasture to get to our trucks. And so I literally was out of my car for no more than 6 minutes, and I got back into my truck soaked to the bone. And, Aaron's always making fun of me for being cleanly and this and that. This dude drove back to the hotel, changed into skinny jeans, put gel in his hair or something. He comes back,
gel in my hair.
Comes back with the parted hair comb over.
Yeah. Well, I've got a part line in my hair, shaved in my hair. You see that?
Yeah, your barber does it.
Yeah.
Is he Dominican? No. Dominican guys, they do all that stuff up by me. They put the little part in there. They put the little calligraphy in the back, And so he leaves, and then me and Rick just start tearing it up around the lake. It's like a peninsula, and me and Rick are running around. We got the crazy Franny popped this going in the log. It was really bad. They pushed this rabbit and refound it and pushed it. We tore apart a rock pile, got the rabbit out. Rick threw it out for Moose. Moose was in spaz mode. He just drove 8 hours, and he's high strung to begin with. So he kind of half-ass chased it. Then it goes into a log that was the base of the log was like on the bank of a pond, and then the log went up and arched over the pond. And then Lady, listen, dachshunds are awesome, but the spaniel that Air sent, like she found the hole of the log above her head, and she's in the water jumping, trying to bite the log because she knows the rabbit's right in the exit of that hole. So I grab Franny, I throw her in at the bank. She goes up in there, and then me and Rick are in the water, and we can there's like a knot that's hollow, and you can see Franny going in there just ripping hair out of this thing. And we flushed it like 4 times. Like we literally reflushed it 4 times. It would not flush. And then Maggie goes in there, and Maggie, like Franny, will just nip him and bite him and pull hair out of him. Maggie just went in there and basically started trying to eat it alive. So we had to push Maggie out through the little side port, and then Rick poked it with a stick, and this thing just hops out all messed up, runs out. Then Lady gets on it, and I had to pull Lady off of it, and then I grabbed it and just kind of tossed it out. And then Moose was hesitating. And then Maddie, Rick's dog, phenomenal dog, by the way, monster dog, that dachshund, jumps on it and starts killing it. And then Moose comes down like he's going to do something. And then he grabs it. And then Maddie's just looking at him like, bro, you had your chance. And then she just keeps eating it. And then I got them all off, traded Moose off. And then, and then Aaron shows up an hour later with gel in his hair. Guy's got
no gel.
He's got aftershave on, cologne, and sneeze wearing New Balance sneakers and skinny jeans. I'm like, dude, what are you doing, bro? I'm like, you went back to the hotel to comb your hair and put cologne on, bro? Let's go. And then we hawked till dark.
I just needed some dry clothes, and then we took my red tail and your goshawk out afterwards. So I was hawking in skinny jeans.
Yeah, we almost caught that fluorescent fox squirrel that literally looked like it was running through the trees like an acid trip. Like it was like so fluorescent when as it's running and the sun is hitting it, you couldn't see its body because the sun, it was nuts, crazy looking.
It was gorgeous. I really wish I could have caught that one.
And then Aaron catches the female that just got done lining her nest with her tail, and it was unfortunate, but whatever. And then pulled Betsy out, and Betsy was she did really good that day too. She was dialed in. Yeah. And she chased like a monster, and then she caught this squirrel and kind of carried it. And we got all the evidence on that catch, right by the face, right by the head.
Some of it. All the evidence
we obtained. And then we literally we got the flash on my camera as we're basically trading her off. And then we walked back to the truck in the pitch black. Like we weren't playing. We were there to fly.
Just a typical day for us.
Yeah.
All righty, guys. Well, thank you for listening to our recap of the last couple of weeks of the season. Looking forward to next season already, but we're going to get some much deserved rest and relaxation. I'm finally going to have time again to get back to the gym. Yeah, man.
Yeah, dude. My yard looks like a just complete white trash neighborhood. There's like rabbit skins. There's like lawnmowers that need to have the oil changed. There's like boxes of garbage everywhere because like, dude, I ain't got no time for that, bro. I'm trying to fly my birds.
Exactly. Everything gets collected during the season.
Oh yeah, dude.
Our bodies, our minds, our yards, you name it.
The only thing about I think that I'm always in better shape during the hawking season than I am in the summer because I'm just moving and grooving.
Yeah.
And then in the summer, I'm just kind of chilling, cut the grass a little bit.
Coldies and
have a little sippy sip or something. Get all plump and juicy by the beach.
Yeah.
But the podcast, we're not taking any time off the podcast. We got some heaters coming.
Oh yeah. Stay tuned.
We got some heaters coming. So don't be sleeping on the podcast. It's going to be good. Now we got time to ramp up and really get after these guests. I found an awesome guest in Germany, and she doesn't speak English, so she can't come on, unfortunately. So that sucks, but she wanted to come on. But we don't speak Judenheimer. We don't speak German, so that doesn't work. But no, we got some real good guests lined up in the, probably tomorrow, the day after, we're going to get some real good episodes in the bank for you guys. So we ain't playing around. Listen, we're just getting started here.
Nope. All right. We're coming up on our 2-year anniversary. It's t-shirt weather. So go grab your t-shirt at sportingchancepod.com and we will catch you next week.
Thanks for listening.